In the forgotten folds of time, when the stars were still young and the sands carried the memories of gods and monsters, the world was made of stories. Some whispered through the leaves, others sang in the wind, and a few were too dangerous to speak aloud. Beneath domes of sapphire and minarets of bone, in cities carved from starlight and shadow, wandered those chosen by fate, not kings or warriors, but listeners, seekers, bearers of untold truths. These are the chronicles never written in books, etched instead into the veins of the earth, or sealed in the breath of a dying flame. Tales traded between spirits and dreamers, guarded by winds that speak only to the brave. Tonight we unravel one such tale, a tale born not from ink, but from fire and silence. So still your heart, open your mind, and step with us into a world where memory has teeth and the moon remembers your name. For in the east, where magic sleeps beneath the dust, every night is a gate, and every story a key. In the weeks that followed his awakening in the Obsidian Temple, Ferris became something else. Where once he walked with soft merchant steps, he now treaded like a man burdened with invisible flame. He no longer flinched at shadows, for he had seen memories rise from embers. The scroll Azar gifted him hung in a leather satchel at his side, warm even when the desert turned cold. But fire, Azar had warned, hungers. And so it led him, ever whispering, toward the northwestern edge of the great Amar, where legends spoke of a place cursed by silence. Zaran, the city that forgot fire. The journey took him across salt flats so blinding, even the stars seemed to hide. Along the way, his dreams turned strange. Visions of towers collapsing into sand, of children born without shadows, and of fires that begged not to be lit. When he finally reached the city, it was just past dusk. Zaran stood not in ruins, but in pause, as if time had forgotten how to move. Its gates hung open, its streets pristine yet lifeless. Lanterns dangled unlit from chains, and windows stood open to the wind. But not a single candle burned. No smell of spice or smoke. No hearths, no ovens. Not even the sun's warmth lingered on the stones. And then he noticed, no birds flew overhead. It was as if fire, any trace of it, had been scrubbed from existence. Ferris entered cautiously. The map in his memory throbbed faintly, as if warning him. In the center of the city rose a great tower of silver stone, called the Spire of Ashes. It shimmered under moonlight, though no flame touched it. At its base sat a statue of a woman cloaked in veils. In one hand she held an extinguished torch, in the other a broken hourglass. Inscribed beneath were words in an ancient tongue Ferris only partly recognized. Those who banish flame, banished memory. Before he could move closer, a soft voice behind him whispered, "You carry fire." Ferris turned sharply. A girl no older than 12 stood barefoot on the stones. Her eyes were pale gray, her skin marked by sootless smudges. "You shouldn't be here," she said. "I was called," Ferris replied, "by the fire that remembers." Her eyes widened, then narrowed. "You're one of them, a bearer." Ferris showed her the scroll. Its surface pulsed like a sleeping heart. This girl stepped closer. "Come with me, before the Watchers find you." She led him through narrow alleys, past homes that looked lived in but unlived. No voices, no heat. Inside one, they descended a spiral staircase into an underground chamber, lit by glowing moss and reflections from polished obsidian. There, a dozen others sat in a circle. Old men, a mother with twin boys, a man whose left arm was carved with flame tattoos. All turned as Ferris entered. The girl spoke. "He's the one from the tales, the fire witness." A murmur rose. An elder stood. His beard was braided with threads of gold, though his eyes were clouded. "What brings you to Zaran, son of Idris?" Ferris told them of Azar, of the temple, of the ember shard and the scroll. When he finished, silence lingered until the elder spoke again. "You walk dangerous paths, child. This city chose to forget fire. After the Pact of Ash, we traded warmth for silence. The Crimson Djinn was the last fire we remembered, and we burned for it." He rolled up his sleeve. Scars like old rivers etched his arm. "Azar once came to this city," he said, "and we tried to chain him." Ferris's breath caught. "What happened?" The elder looked toward the ceiling. "He laughed and vanished, but not before cursing us. Let your fear of flame rob you of light. Since then, nothing burns here, not even grief." That night, Ferris stayed in the underground refuge. In his sleep, the scroll pulsed against his chest, then unfurled itself without touch. Flames rose from its pages, not chaotic, but ordered, elegant. They formed a single word: remember. He woke before dawn, and without waking the others, climbed to the city's edge. There, at the foot of an old amphitheater, stood a shallow basin filled with oil, a ceremonial fire pit, abandoned but intact. Ferris struck his flint. Nothing. Again, nothing. He closed his eyes, recalled Azar's words. "Fire does not obey force, it answers truth." Ferris whispered, "I remember you." And on the fourth strike, flame. It was small, golden red, barely a spark, but real. The city shuddered. Windows cracked. A single bell rang from the spire of ashes. Then, one by one, torches on nearby walls ignited, as if flame had returned from exile. He returned to the refuge where the others stared in awe. The elder wept silently. The girl laughed for the first time, but then a new sound, iron on stone. From the depths of the spire emerged the watchers, figures draped in ash-colored cloaks, their faces masked, each holding a staff of unlit metal. One pointed at Fares. "He has rekindled the curse." They surged forward. The flame-bearers resisted, but they were few. Thus ends the tale, not in silence, but in breathless hush. The ink has dried, the candle flickers, and the storyteller leans back, his eyes glinting with the memory of magic. What was written in fire now rests in shadow, and yet somewhere in the folds of the world, the echoes linger. The laugh of a trickster, the riddle of a beast, the last step of a hero on a sand-swept path. Each tale is a mirror, and this one too showed us more than its hero. It showed us the cost of wonder, the shape of courage, the ache of choice. So closed the scroll, but not the heart. For the next tale waits in a whisper, in the curl of smoke from an old lamp, in the soft rustle of a turning page at midnight. And if you listen closely enough, you may hear it begin.